what's happening.
I believe we did.
Alrighty then everyone, we just got done with my biggest rant to one of the worst movie of the 2010 decade. Now we just calm down and do a calm rant. This is a mini rant on Despicable Me 4. Anyway, Legion Gaming, if you like this film, that's fine. I still do not like this film, but at least it's way better than Megamind 2 The Doom Symmetric. How in the world that this film is even worse than Megamind 2? I just don't freaking get it. It can show that this society is effed up. Hello everyone, or good morning everyone. This is your good old neighbor Nick Hicks, Spider-Verse, and Frozen 2, and Kim, Possible Fan 2001. I'm probably saying to yourself right now, Nick, I thought you did this rant, this film already. Guys, I have to delete that rant because Lady Gaming was right. I was taking that movie way too seriously. I was just acting like Wicked Things Studio 2.0. But anyway, so I was thinking about it and I was like, does Despicable Me 4 deserve like a 1 out of 10? And yeah, sure, I do like good thing about it, but that doesn't mean those things would save this film to be great. But no, it was honestly, it's a bad movie. But it's a bad movie, but not as bad as Megamind 2. I can take Megamind 2 way too seriously, but this film got some fan base who really enjoyed the heck out of this movie. Well, even the critic absolutely did not like this film, and I definitely agree with the critic and the Rotten Tomato system. Even that system is so broken since like 2012 or 2018. But anyway, enough further ado, let's do a calm rant to one of the one Rumination film that came out before on the 4th day of July. So enough further ado, let's get this video started, shall we? So today I am doing a movie review / mini rant on the new Rumination film ever, which is none other than Despicable Me 4. Came out the year of 2024. Anyway, enough further ado, let's get this Despicable Me video started, shall we? It's minion time! Sorry guys, once again, I'm a huge fan of the Despicable Me franchise. The first film is a masterpiece. Even the animation was outdated, like I said like a million times in every Despicable Me review. But overall, even I don't like the animation on that film, but at least that film didn't hurt the animator. But at least that film is even enjoyable than the animation itself. And Despicable Me 2, aka one of the best movies out of the series, because that film, honestly guys, now that is how you do a perfect Despicable Me movie. Because we should have every Rumination film to be like Despicable Me 2. Well, that was a deadly wish for that, because when I wish for that, Rumination is trying to make their animation trying to be like the sequel, like Despicable Me 2. Don't get me wrong, I like Despicable Me 2, but sometimes Rumination need to be original with their animation. Like, come on, look at the Mario movie. The Mario movie are not trying to be like Despicable Me 2. The animation of the Mario movie is a Nintendo movie, not a Rumination. Just because Rumination and Nintendo work together, that doesn't mean it will be a typical, not typical, it will be the actual Rumination, because Rumination, it's been a long time that Rumination made some great film since Scene 2, which honestly guys, I am defender of Scene 2. I do not care what everyone said, because that film is a really great film, and even is way better than the original film, but I still have some flaws about it, like Jimmy as a villain. Yeah, I did not like him. Anyway, in the Minion movie, I already know that some people think the Minion is a toy commercial, which Yeah, I do admit, the Minion movie is a toy commercial. This is exactly the big reason why that Women Nation just forced me to buy all these Minion toy by mom. But honestly, guys, I'm not trying to be mean for my mom because she's only one of the best mother I ever had. But I'm probably the main reason why that Women Nation keep doing it. It has to be because that Women Nation is constantly forcing me to buy the Women Nation toys. Really, Women Nation? Whatever. Anyway, in Minion the Wiser Grew, I just think it's even better than the first movie. Even Bella Bottom is not as good as a villain as Scarlet Overkill. Scarlet Overkill is honestly one of my favorite villains out of these Minion movie because I just think it's a very beautiful and a very attractive girl in the Women Nation because this is a very first Women Nation villain that have female as a main villain, which I already know that sounds woke, but I do not give it on. But anyway, in Minion the Wiser Grew is even better than the first film, and honestly, guys, even I kind of think that film is overrated, but at the same time, I don't think that film is a bad film. And just because I say overrated, that doesn't mean it's a typically a bad film. Because Black Critic Guy teach me for the lesson about it. Because overrated, it didn't mean just because I call it overrated. Just because I call it overrated, that doesn't mean that Minions the Wiser Grew is typically a bad film. That's not a bad film. It's a guilty pleasure film. Honestly, not just for Kitty, it's for the audience in general. And people need to stop calling Women Nation a kitty. Like, are you freaking out of your mind? And anyway, guys, in Moonit, which is a Despicable Me short, I am the only one who really enjoyed that short because I just couldn't stop laughing my butt off because that short is so funny, but not as good as Once Upon the Studio short or even the Spider-Verse short. Yeah, those two short is even better than Moonit. Honestly, guys, I was kind of not looking forward to the Despicable Me 4 because they should have ended for a Despicable Me 2 because Despicable Me 2 just ended like in a perfect franchise, and Despicable Me could have been a next Frozen franchise to be the Fantastic franchise, but not until we got the third film came out. And everyone will definitely agree with me that Despicable Me 3 is honestly one of the second most mean-spirited movie I ever seen in my freaking life. Because, like, come on. That film made the Lego Ninjago movie to be, like, less mean-spirited than Despicable Me 3. I absolutely did not like Despicable Me 3. And Despicable Me 3 will forever be the worst movie out of the franchise. And I was just saying, you know what? I don't think this film is that bad. So, after I rewatch it, I gotta say, but this film is not bad. Even this film is bad, but it's not as bad as Megamind 2. So do I have any positive about this film? Actually, yes, I have some 4 positive. Instead of 2, we have some 4. Okay, first of all, honestly, even I don't care about the animation, I gotta say, but the location that Gru and Lucy was sent by Sisters of Swing Bottom was trying to keep them safe to the safe house. I gotta say, but the location looks absolutely beautiful, and I will definitely be in that city because that city is absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely amazing, and it can shows that the animator worked so hard. And freaking Stain Studio should have give credit for that animator because the animator did a fantastic job with that location, and I won't mind to be in that location, which that location is absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. And even I don't like Poppy, but Joey King Sydney, man, give her a Grammy reward. Grammy reward because she did a terrific job as her singing in the part of Everybody Want to Ruin the World, which is my favorite part of the movie, which we're gonna get that in a minute. And sorry guys, and some of the humor can be really funny sometimes. Can be really funny sometimes, especially for the Mega Minion. I already know that the member from the Legend of Media absolutely despise the Mega Minion is trying to be an insult to the MCU and DCU. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely did not like the one scene that rose Spider-Man 2. Like, how in the frick that you how in the war that you ruined to one of the best comic book movie of 2004, and you just go ahead to mock it. That is not how you do a celebration to the 20th anniversary of Spider-Man 2. Even I think the SpongeBob SquarePants movie is even better than Spider-Man 2. But I do like Spider-Man 2. It's a great comic book movie with a great story, great character, and great everything. But how the Mega Minion was doing it, yeah, I ain't gonna talk about it. But anyway, and honestly, I'll get to that in my files in a minute. And sorry, guys. And another good thing about this movie, I seriously think the soundtrack is pretty cool, especially for that one song that Peters William absolutely dissed on Drake. I gotta say, dissing on Drake for a kids movie. Pretty insane, am I right, people? Yeah, I'll probably Legion Gaming didn't even know that song is literally Disney on the rapper Drake. Even I like Drake, but sometimes he got some problem. But William, man, you do not want to mess with that man. I mean, you don't want to mess with that artist because his movie called Piece by Piece, he would do a reference to this film, and he would do a backstory how he got in the Elimination studio to make these songs. Because, right, come on, I do agree with some people. You cannot make the Despicable Me movie without Puppet William. Puppet William is the reason why we got these movies. And not just Puppet William. You can't make the Despicable Me movie without the Minions. And whoever said that they want Minion talk, boring. Honestly, it would be better with the funny voice of the Minion. Like, come on. Like, seriously, that is a Minion right here. Not the Minion was speaking English. That's boring. Legion Gaming would definitely not like that at all. But don't worry, I would keep the Minion in my villain con, which is a spin-off to the Despicable Me franchise on my story file, which is going to be adult. It's going to be the only adult for the elimination. And don't worry, I'll keep it very safe for you guys. Like, come on. Elimination always keep everyone safe. And the best part of the movie, and the last good thing I could give for this film, let's talk about the ending. That's right. When Malcolm D in the mall and Gru singing the song about everybody want to rule the world. At first, I think that song was really... I think that scene was really cringy. But every single time I rewatched that part, I just couldn't believe how good that scene is. I don't understand why that freaking thing studio just got me into that cringing scene of the ending. And the best of all, they return every single villain from the previous Despicable Me movie. Yeah, this film just literally kicked Kung Fu Panda 4 in the behind. You know why? Because Kung Fu Panda 4, that film just literally disrespect to the preview villain, and it shows that Mike Mitchell didn't even rewatch the first film and the sequel and even the freaking third film, because they completely disrespect Kai, and they kind of disrespect Taiwan. Even Taiwan has some few voice, but in a one villain, I absolutely did not like how they treat. Which now then, how freaking dare you that you treat one of the best Kung Fu Panda villain ever, which is now then Lois Shan. They completely disrespect Lois Shan, and this is why you should not do a movie featuring future villain. But look at this film. At least this film is not disrespecting Scarlet Overkill, Bella Bottom, El Macho. Thank goodness they did not disrespect El Macho, or else it would be like Lois Shan 2.0. Okay, here we go. At least they are not disrespecting Vector, Mr. Parkin. Not Mr. Parkin from Kim Possible, which is the teacher that Kim and Juan do. But anyway, Mr. Parkin. Honestly, Mr. Parkins. Is that giant guy voiced by Will and... oh yeah, Mr. Parkin. Yeah, at least they did not disrespect him. At least, honestly, even I do not like Bulbasaur Brat, but Bulbasaur Brat in this film has some funniest scene, especially when he said, "What's Boogie?" Yep, I will boogie to you. Yeah, boogie. Anyway, that scene was really fantastic, and this is how you do a scene with showing a future villain. And Kung Fu Panda 4, you just literally fell out of your villain. And Mike Mitchell, no fans, but you just literally disrespect to one of the best Kung Fu Panda villain ever. How dare you? But honestly, guys, that's the That's the fourth thing I like from this film. I do like some of the animation, like the location that Gru and Lucy gonna go to the safe house by such a swing bottom was really great too. And I do admit, headquarters is pretty cool. It's even better than the last headquarters they went to from the second film and the third film. At least they have some new headquarters, which I do like that, by the way. And I would definitely be there with the Mega Minion. The Mega Minions! Even Minion got me annoyed. But at least the Mega Minion is just not good. It's not bad, honestly. So that's the only fourth thing I like this film. Like some of the animation, some of the the soundtrack, like Double Live. Everybody Want to Ruin the World is the best part of the movie, and some of the humor can be really funny. But sadly, that's completely it. Honestly, guys, I still have some major flaws I do not like from this film. Let's talk about the story. Elimination, how many times do I have to tell you, you old man? How many times do I have to tell you? Do not make another elimination film that have too many stories in one movie. Have you not learned your lesson for your Secret Life of Pet 2? That film have too many stories in one movie, and that film is filled with like a TV movies. But I gotta say, I'm not being too hard on this film, even as a Mini-Rant, but I absolutely did not like the story. The story is all over the place. This is literally like a free time movies. And honestly, guys, I gotta say, but even I'm not being too hard for elimination, I gotta say, but this film have no story. Even they have a story of Poppy want to get something from the school. And even the Mega Minion, has some great stories. But I gotta say, and even Macarum, jealousy, even Gru jealousy storyline. And I do admit, the opening scene is absolutely amazing. It's kind of remind me of Drive, especially when Gru driving like awesomeness. I gotta say, but that is the second best part of the movie behind with everybody want to ruin the war. But honestly, guys, let's continue about the flaws. Yeah, this film have one of the most messy story I ever seen for a elimination film since The Secret Life of Pet 2. Do you think The Secret Life of Pet 2 has some too many story in one freaking movie? Well, you better wait and see for this one. And the characters. Honestly, guys, only Mega Minion is my favorite character in this film, and I already know that one of the members of the Legend of Media would absolutely disagree with me the most. But most of the character, it's just like in the third film. Like Gru himself, I do like Stephen Carell. He did a fantastic job in this film. But I gotta say, but his character in this film, at least he's not unlikable. Just like what he did in the third film. Yeah, Gru in the third film was absolutely mean-spirited in the beginning. And yeah, sure, he was mean-spirited in the future Despicable Me movie, but at least he wasn't a mistake. But he did not want a mistake at all. And in the fourth film of Gru, he was, he's okay. Sorry. And honestly, guys, and Lucy, sorry to disappoint you, girl, but you literally disappoint me for a second time. First you disappoint me for the third film, and now you disappoint for this? Come on, Lucy, be a great character development. And anyway, and after I heard the news that elimination have no bother to grown the goal up, okay. This is why Pixar is much better than elimination. Because at least Pixar is growing the character, like Riley Anderson. In the first film, she was a kid. But in the sequel, which is the one that came out way before this film came out. But anyway, look at Riley Anderson. She was a kid in the first film. But in the sequel, they literally take a character development from Riley Anderson and make her as one of the great character development for an animated character of 2024. But look at elimination. Does Margot and Axton and even Eddie has some great character development? No, of course not. They are not growing their characters. And do you not even know that the people who voice these characters are getting old? Elimination, can you do better with your character development? This is even bad I mean, this is even awful. Then Logan is not giving the character development or not aging the character. Like they completely ruined Book and Tiga, and honestly, I might talk about it in the future videos. But honestly, let's talk about this film. Yeah, I was completely disappointed and really a letdown after I heard the news that Despicable Me movies were not grown Margot, Agnes, in accent. I mean, Anson, Angan, and Eddie as a grown character. I was really disappointed after I heard about this news. And I'm very sorry I didn't talk about it in my super video. But thank goodness I'm talking about here. Because elimination, it can show that you don't even care how to grow a new character. So why in the world do we... So why in the world... So I got one question. So what's the point of having the Despicable Me movie without growing your characters, because this is not how you do a character development. Take note what Inside Out 2 done. Yeah. Honestly, guys, I'm probably don't want to do that. I'm probably elimination is just roasting Disney and trying to be better than Disney. Which elimination, you're not better than Disney. You're not Walt Disney, and you never will be. So, and here's our one character. Even I like her singing voice, but here's our one character. They said her name is Joey Keane, and they literally break my heart. And I didn't even know that she was in a bad film before, because I was really thought that this film is the very first bad movie that she was in. But she was in a movie called The Kissing Booth, which I am not watching that piece of crap. That film was cringe-worthy. Yeah, honestly, I might do a one watch of that piece of crap. But the most disappointing characters in this film, and I already know Mature really love her, but that doesn't matter. It's Poppy. She was a underwhelming, a disappointing character. And this is honestly one of the weakest, has to be one of the weakest performances that Joey Keane ever did. Her as Prince from the epic brilliant masterpiece, which is another Bullet Train, which I like Bullet Train. I did not care what the critics said. But the Bullet Train Prince as the main antagonist is way better as a Joey Keane. And even her, the Princess action movie, it's kind of not watching a wedded up version of Tangle, but with the action sequences. But that film is 100 times better than Poppy in this film. And honestly, guys, and after I heard her voice, that is not Joey Keane. Honestly, that sounds like a different person, honestly. I gotta say, but Princess Peach is way more attractive elimination characters than Poppy in this film. Sorry, Poppy, but you just really disappoint me. No, people, I'm not talking about Poppy from the Troll movie. No, I'm talking about Poppy in this film. Because just because the name Poppy, that doesn't mean you have to mention the Troll film. And to the swing bottom, I do admit, even I don't really care about... Honestly, guys, even I don't really care about Despicable Me 3. At least Tutter the Swing Bottom is the only good character I like from Despicable Me 3. And even... and his character in this film was trying to keep Gru and Lucy and the girls to the safe house. We gotta go to the safe house. Honestly, guys, and I do admit, Steve did a fantastic job at Tutter the Swing Bottom once again, because he was in the sequel, he was in the third film, and I am not going to mention the first movie, because he was not in the first film. The first film at all. And he was in Minion the Wiser Grew. Yeah, he was in the Minion the Wiser Grew, but as a different version of himself. And so, yeah. Honestly, guys, and the Minion itself, even I like the Megan Minion, but all the Minion, it just got on my nerve, honestly. Honestly, guys, I do like the Minion. I'm not trying to be too hard for the Minion. I'm not going to wish Minion to die, which, oh my god. I don't understand why people all keep continuing destroy the Minions. Come on, man. Don't destroy the Minion. If you destroy the Minion, the Despicable Me franchise ain't gonna be the same. Because, honestly, guys, too bad, too sad, elimination hater. So, Minion 3 is officially on the work. It's coming out in honestly, guys, it's coming out on June 30th, 2027. That is a very long time. And I will be a grown-up when that movie comes out. And all the kids are going to be grown up too. Because I don't think grown-up is going to be entertained Minions anymore. Because they absolutely got old since 2010. Yeah, since 2010. At first, people liked the Minions. But all these years, people People are just getting sick of tired of seeing the Minion. Like, come on, Minion is in everywhere. Like the Minion cup, Minion shirt, Minion toy, Minion DVD, Minion TV, Minion table. Oh, okay, that's stupid. Minion, etc. Minion is everywhere. Even the billboard, even everything. Minion is everywhere. Even the Minion Land from Universal Studio. Yeah, Minion ain't gonna go away because that's the Mickey Mouse. That's the Mickey Mouse icon. Just like Disney has some icon. Icon Mickey Mouse. Well, Women Nation have the icon, but it's another than the Minion. You can't get rid of the Minion because if you make Despicable Me live action remake without the Minions, kid will be absolutely disappointing. Because honestly, guys, and just like what I just said, give kids what they want. If they want Minion, that's fine. And Gru Jr., I already know that freaking thing studio called a annoying baby. Honestly, God, I was about to say that, but even I like Baby and I heard Baby before. I do, man. Gru Jr. is a cute and adorable baby, even as cute as the stars from Disney Wish. Yeah, I'm going that far. And let's talk about the villain, which is none other than Malcolm D. Lamar. Even he's way better than Bulbasaur Brad, but I'm just gonna be nice for this film. Honestly, I absolutely did not like Malcolm D. Lamar's. I gotta say, but he has got to be one of the second worst villain out of these Despicable Me movie, because the worst Despicable Me villain happens to be Bulbasaur Brad. I've been a bad boy. Oh god, that line is dreadful. Oh my goodness, that line made me cringe. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Ugh. Anyway, and honestly, guys, and you don't want to know what his actor is voice of Malcolm D. Lamar. That's right, it's Will Ferrell. This is why Megamind 2 is piece of crap. Because you cannot make Megamind movie without Will Ferrell. Like, seriously, Will Ferrell? This is how you follow up to your performance from the Barbie movie as the CEO, and even Legion Gaming absolutely hate that freaking movie. And this is how you follow up to one of your greatest performance ever, which is none other than you as Megamind, you as the CEO from the Barbie movie, and even you as the main character from the movie called the Rated R movie of the Talking Dog Rated R movie of Stray. What the heck? This is not how you follow. This is not how you do a follow up to one of your greatest performance ever, which is none other than you as the CEO from Barbies. I gotta say, but this has to be one of the weakest performances I ever seen for Will Ferrell. Him as Buddy from The Elf, him as Anger Man, him as Megamind, him as the CEO from Barbies, and even him as the main character from the Rated R Talking Dog movie, which is none other than Stray. Guys, do not watch Stray. If you're a kid, do not watch that movie. That film is dirty in a good way. But honestly, I gotta say, I absolutely did not like Malcolm D. Lamar. And let's talk about Valentine's, which is Malcolm D. Lamar's girlfriends. Hold on a minute, guys. My mom has texted me. Hold on a minute, guys. Okay. Alright, sorry about that, guys. My mom just texted me. But anyway, let's talk about another villain, which is none other than her as Valentine. What the heck am I watching? Am I watching Despicable Me movie? Or am I watching a terrible version of Kim Possible? Because let me get this right. We got Malcolm D. Lamar trying to be like Dr. Draken, and we have Valentine to be like Shigo. Okay. Elimination. It can show that you watch every single episode of Kim Possible, and they say, you know what? Let's have the couple villain to be like Dr. Dragon and Shigo. Green light. I gotta say, but Dr. Dragon and Shigo are way better villain in Kim Possible than Malcolm D. Lamar, which is Dr. Dragon done bad, and Valentine, which is Shigo done bad. Which Dr. Dragon and Shigo are way better. And man, I'm very sorry I mentioned Kim Possible in this review. Like Calm the Flake on. It's called Nick Cage Spider-Verse and Frozen 2 and Kim Possible Fan 2001. Of course, I'm gonna do a Kim Possible reference to Knucklehead. But anyway, and I do admit the one scene when Malcolm D. Lamar is trying his best to get some gas, on his ship. And honestly, and just like in the trailer, he was he was he was doing something for his card in that machine, and in the machine didn't get it. I gotta said, but that is the third favorite part of the movie because I just couldn't stop laughing my butt up on that scene. That scene is absolutely comedy gold. But even that scene was really funny. But overall, Macadamina Mars and Valentine is a bad version of Dr. Dragon and Shigo. Yeah, I'm part of Dr. Dragon and Shigo. Honestly, I got an idea for my Lego video. If they make a Lego minifigures of Macadamina Mars and Valentine, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a parody of the Lego video of Dr. Dragon and Shigo meet Macadamina Mars and Valentine's. Even her name is not Valentine, played by Sofia Vergara. Oh my god. First Hot Pursuit and now in this film, come on, Sofia Vergara, your character from Martyrs Family are way better than your character in this film. And this has to be one of my least favorite performances I ever seen for Sofia Vergara. Sofia Vergara, can you please stop being a bad film, being a good film? That's stupid. Anyway, in the climax, even is way better. Sorry, I gotta say, but I rather take that back what I just said about the climax from the third film. This has to be one of the most insane climax I ever seen from this franchise. The climax from the sequel are way better than the climax from the fourth movie because the fourth film has some climax. Yeah, I don't want to tell you what the climax is because this is the only one I am not gonna give away spoiler. The only scene I'm gonna give away spoiler, which is not in the ending, which I already talked about that. And even I like some of the animation, like the location, but look at the character design. The character design did not change at all. It's just staying the same, just like Despicable Me 2. It can show that Illumination is not growing their animation. And look at Disney. And yeah, sure, you can say whatever you want about Disney Wish animation. And Disney Wish animation is not made for AI, you knucklehead. But honestly, you can say whatever you want about Disney animation. At least Disney animation is growing their animation. But Illumination with their animation, even I love the Mario movie animation, even I really like the animation of Despicable Me 2, not Despicable Me 1, because Despicable Me 1 is the most outdated Illumination film I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, what else has to say about this movie? Even I didn't take this film way too seriously. Well, I gotta say, but this film is way better than the last, and better I could give that. And I gotta say, but this film is even. Honestly, I gotta say, but even this film is bad, and I'm pretty darn sure I'm not pretty darn sure I'm gonna put this film as my number 10 worst film of the year. But I gotta say, at least this film just try as long as not Megamind 2. That's why this film is even better and even tolerable than Megamind 2. Megamind 2 have the worst story, terrible characters, a terrible character win. I cannot believe why they made Megamind as an unlikable crap hole. Like, stop making your animated film to be like unlikable crap hole. This is not Chicken Little, this is not Despicable Me 3, and this is definitely not the Lego Ninjago movie, knucklehead. But I gotta say, even I don't think this film is the worst of the worst. But I gotta say, but at least Illumination try. At least this film is not trying to be as bad as Despicable Me 3. Yeah, Despicable Me 3 was mean spirit. But at least this film has some fun and entertaining movie. Because this is a type of film that you can turn your brain up and you can absolutely enjoy it. For the Illumination fan, I'm probably gonna give this film like a 10 out of 10. But I'm very sorry, but even I kind of have a good time by watching Despicable Me 4. But I gotta say, but that doesn't stop me to give this film as a very bad rating. It's gonna be exactly the same as a rating at Despicable Me 3. Sorry guys, let me find my rating real quick. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna give here we go. Alright, I'm gonna give Despicable Me 4 a 4 out of 10. It's a bad movie, but it's way better than Megamind 2. Does this film deserve a seal of naked garbage? Well, nice try, Illumination. Even I have some 4 good things about this film, but that doesn't mean you're gonna stop me to give this film a seal of naked garbage. But I gotta say, Lazy Gaming, no fans. But honestly, guys, this is the rating I'm gonna give this film. So just deal with it. And please just don't get my rating high, okay? It's my opinion. I'm not taking this film way too seriously. This is a mini-rant, for God's sake. So just leave me alone, okay? You get this mini-rant on this film, just leave me alone, okay? Good. Sorry guys, that was my movie review / mini-rant to one of the second weakest movie out of these Despicable Me movie, which is another than Despicable Me 4. I gotta say, but I would rewatch this film way better than rewatching my time to Despicable Me 3. Despicable Me 3 was absolutely mean-spirited. I did not have fun watching that freaking movies, and that film was absolutely atrocious. And you know what? Doing to I give this film like a 4 out of 10. I'm gonna give Despicable Me 3, of course, okay, a 3 out of 10. It's a really bad movies. I really despise Despicable Me 3. There was no excuse why that film was absolutely mean-spirited. That's crap. And I'm very sorry, Poppy. You deserve a thumbs down. And I'm sorry, Indoor people, I'm not showing the picture of it. Sorry guys, that was my movie review / mini-rant to one of the second weakest movie out of the Despicable Me movie. At least it's way better than the third film, which is another than Despicable Me 4. So tell me what you think of this film on the comment section below. Think it's good, think it's bad, think it's mediocre, think it's the best, think it's the worst. Comment below and let me know. And I might take a break doing rant, because my next review, which is another than Mean Girls 2024. Cannot wait to talk about that masterpiece. Cannot wait to talk about it. Because I'm a huge fan of the first film. No, people, the sequel did not count. The sequel is absolutely atrocious. But I gotta say, Mean Girls 2024 would be a lot better movie from Mean Girls than Mean Girls 2. Yeah, Mean Girls 2, you better be ashamed of yourself, because that film had nothing to do with the Mean Girls source material. So yeah. Sorry guys, so tell me what's your favorite elimination film. For me, I think the Super Mario Bros. Movie, especially for Anna Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach. I am putting her as a main villain and villain con, and have her plan to destroy some of the bad elimination films. Like Lorax, Hop. Man, do not mess with Princess Peach. She is literally like a female version of Homelander from the Boys. I like the Boys. I did not care what the audience said. Sorry guys. Tell me which is your favorite movie out of the Despicable Me movie. For me, I think Despicable Me 2 will forever be the best movie out of the series. Especially that have one of the best villains from the Despicable Me movie since Vector and Scarlet Overkill, which is another than El Macho. El Macho is a fantastic villain, and I did not care what Sean said. Sorry guys, just comment below and let me know. And stay tuned for my movie review on Mean Girls. We're gonna get the positive. And honestly, I'm gonna take a break doing rant. First, I did the biggest rant on the worst Nickelodeon movie ever. I ain't gonna mention ever again. You know what? It's the last ever better. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I might take a break doing rant. I've been doing rant this week. I did a biggest rant last night, and I uploaded it like 12 o'clock in the morning. I'm very sorry. Yeah, and I did a mini-rant on this film. And now let's take a break doing rant, and I might do a movie review on the positive movie, which is another Mean Girls 2024. So yeah. Sorry guys, subscribe, comment, share the video about me. So tell me which is your favorite elimination film, and tell me which is your favorite Despicable Me movie. I already know I already said it, but I'm not trying to be like a broken freaking record. I'm very sorry to say yet again, another longer rant, and I promise you I won't make my video to be like in 2020 style. Sorry guys, this is Nick Cake, Spider-Verse, and Frozen 2, and Kim, Possible Fan 2001, signing out, and Lazy Gaming, and I really hope you're happy. I didn't take this film way too seriously. I didn't give this film like a 1 out of 10, just like my older rant. Yeah, I do hate that rant. That rant is absolutely stupid. Anyway, this video signing off for now, and you have a great Mega Minion, everyone.
Insert card and remove rapidly. Card not read? Come on!
Did you pull it out rapidly?
Yes, very rapidly! Oh,